What happens when a live television moment spirals into something no one expected? In this video, we are going to dive deep into a dramatic, cinematic, emotionally intense recreation of a shocking on-air clash, captured in a full three-part scripted narrative. The studio lights warm before they brighten, a metallic hum filling the air like distant thunder. Crew members whisper across the cold floor, adjusting cables and polishing glass. The atmosphere carries that strange tension that only exists on live television, an electricity that settles in the bones long before the countdown begins. Today, that electricity feels heavier, as if the room itself is bracing for impact. Harrison Ford steps into the wings with a posture that is both iconic and exhausted. He runs a hand across his jaw, scanning the set with eyes that have seen real wilderness, real storms, real danger. But today, his expression carries something different. Not fear, not irritation, but a tightly coiled restraint. Something simmering. Across the table, Joy Behar flips through her annotated cue cards, the corners frayed from habit. She's in her element, caffeinated, confident, sharp-tongued. She doesn't notice Harrison watching her. Or maybe she does. Either way, she doesn't look up. A stage manager approaches Harrison. 2 minutes, Mr. Ford. You good? His reply is dry, sandpaper low. Define good. The stage manager forces a polite laugh. Harrison doesn't. He steps toward the hosting table, the brightly lit battlefield that millions at home know as a harmless daytime show. A place where conversations are loud but safe until they aren't. The audience murmurs with excitement when they see him approach. Phones rise, people elbow each other. It's really him, someone whispers. Indiana Jones, another says. Harrison gives a quick obligatory smile, but his mind is elsewhere, circling a conversation he didn't want to have on air. One Joy insisted on. The music cue hits. The View's theme swells. The hosts glide to their seats with practiced poise. The red light above the main camera flicks on. They are live. Sonny opens with a polished welcome. Whoopi sets the tone. Sarah laughs lightly. Everything is normal. The illusion of warmth, of harmony, of harmless chatter. Until Joy leans forward, eyes narrowing with the kind of grin she wears when she senses a moment. So Harrison, she says, voice bright but blade sharp, I've always wondered something. When you play these grumpy, tough guy characters, is that acting or is that just you being you? Harrison exhales slowly through his nose. He forces a smile. Well, Joy, last time I checked, acting involves, acting. The audience chuckles, but Joy's expression sharpens. Funny, she shoots back. But some people, and I mean respected critics, say you're difficult, that you shut people down, that you're, let's say, not the friendliest guy on set. Sarah shifts uncomfortably. Sonny glances at the teleprompter. Even Whoopi lifts a brow. Harrison doesn't speak immediately. He just studies Joy with a look that isn't anger. Not yet, but a warning. Joy continues anyway. I mean, isn't that true? You're known for walking away from interviews, rolling your eyes, being, well, kind of a curmudgeon. Harrison's jaw tightens. He leans in slightly, voice low, steady. Joy, if you're going to pick a fight with me, at least make it an interesting one. The audience gasps, the kind of gasp that ripples through a room and chills the air. Joy smirks, unbothered. Oh, relax, Harrison. It's all in good fun. We poke. You poke. That's the game. Harrison shakes his head slowly. No, that's your game. Mine is telling the truth. Joy laughs. Okay, Mr. Truth Teller. Why don't you tell us why everyone says you're so... He cuts her off. Everyone? Or just you? The energy in the studio shifts, thickens. Joy responds with that trademark shrug, dismissive, theatrical. Oh, don't be dramatic. Harrison's eyes sharpen. You invited me here and decided to take shots before we even got into the interview. That's literally the job, Joy fires back. Then maybe you're bad at it, he says. The audience erupts. Shocked laughter, gasps, hands flying to mouths. Joy straightens, offended now. Very. Excuse me? Harrison's voice stays calm, almost too calm. You asked whether I act grumpy. You asked whether I'm difficult. You wanted a reaction, Joy. That's what this is. Manufactured provocation. Joy scoffs. I'm just asking questions. No, Harrison says. You're asking accusations and dressing them up as questions. Sunny quietly adjusts her note cards, eyes flickering between them like she's looking for an escape route. Sarah takes a sip of her mug, though it's empty. Even Whoopi sits up straighter. Joy laughs again, but it's the brittle kind. Oh, come on, Harrison. You're acting like I attacked you. You didn't come to have a conversation, he says, voice dropping even lower. You came to poke a bear and pretend you're surprised when it growls. Silence falls. Cameras zoom in. The moment freezes. Live, raw, unedited. Joy leans in, eyes locked with his. You think you're the only tough one at this table? Harrison doesn't blink. I think you confuse tough with loud. The audience reacts like a wave hitting a cliff. Explosive, echoing, unstoppable. Joy raises a hand, signaling for quiet, but her voice comes out tighter now. If you're going to sit here and throw insults— I didn't insult you, he interrupts. I described your approach. Same thing. No, he says. Insults are emotional. Descriptions are observational. Joy forces a breath. Let's move on. You brought it up, he replies. Now you want to run from it? She slams her cards down. I'm not running. Harrison's reply is quiet, controlled, surgical. Then face it. The air shifts again. Darker, denser. No longer a television studio, but a pressure cooker. Joy tries redirecting the conversation. Can we please talk about your new movie? Harrison's eyes narrow. You want to switch topics now that it's uncomfortable? This is a talk show, not a therapy session. Feels like one, he says, except the therapist is yelling. Joy's nostrils flare. I am not yelling. Joy, he says calmly, you've been yelling since I sat down. Her voice spikes. Because you're impossible. And you love it, Harrison replies, because it gets clicks, views, moments. She freezes, because that, she knows, is true. The rest of the table watches like spectators trapped in a storm they cannot walk away from. The audience shifts, torn between shock and thrill. Harrison folds his hands. You want honest answers. You want real conversation. But the second it gets real, you call it drama. Joy fires back instantly. You're twisting this. No, he says. I'm finally untwisting it. Her face reddens. You know what? Fine. You want real? Let's be real. She turns fully toward him. You are difficult. You are dismissive. You do act like you're above this. Harrison studies her, unyielding. Above what? Cheap shots? Manufactured conflict? Hollow theatrics? This is television. This is nonsense, he says. Joy opens her mouth to speak, but nothing comes out at first. Her fury momentarily snagged on. The tight line between what she can say and what will get her in trouble. Harrison senses the fracture, and then he says it, the sentence that turns the air radioactive. You don't want conversation, Joy. You want control. The room inhales. Joy blinks. Excuse me? You heard me. You're seriously accusing me of— Yes. Joy laughs, but the laugh is sharp and humorless. You think I enjoy hosting this circus? Harrison leans closer. Every ringmaster does. Her face drops. For the first time, she has no comeback. And Harrison sees it. He didn't intend to break her armor. But something about this moment, this pressure, this pent-up tension, pushes him further. His next words aren't loud. They don't need to be. They told me before the show that you'd go after me, he says. And they were right. Joy's eyes widen. Who told you that? He raises a brow. Does it matter? Her voice lowers dangerously. Yes, it does. He meets her gaze without flinching. Maybe you should ask yourself why anyone would say it at all. Joy goes silent, completely silent. The studio freezes, crew, hosts, audience, cameras. Everything suspended in a rare moment where daytime entertainment becomes something else. Something almost too real for TV. The red light above the camera burns steadily. Millions are watching. Harrison breathes in. Joy breathes out. Something inside the room tilts, and the explosion isn't over. Not even close. Joy's silence hangs in the studio like smoke after a gunshot. The audience senses the shift instantly. The kind of shift where laughter dies, where no one dares cough, where the energy becomes so raw it almost hums against the skin. Harrison doesn't break eye contact. He sits there, steady as stone, neither victorious nor apologetic, just resolved. Like he finally said something he'd been holding in for far too long. Joy inhales, slow and shaky, as if she's resetting herself from the inside out. She forces her mouth into a smile that doesn't match her eyes. "So this is what we're doing today," she murmurs. "Okay, fine." But the smile twitches at the corners. Harrison sees it. Whoopi leans forward slightly, testing the temperature. "Maybe we should take a—" Joy cuts her off sharply. "No, no breaks." The producers watching from behind the glass scramble. Hands fly across comm boards. Someone mouths, "Oh God," repeatedly. The director counts camera angles with frantic gestures, unsure which moment to capture because every moment feels explosive. Joy adjusts her glasses, straightens her cards, then throws them aside because she knows she's not reading anything now. Her voice comes out cooled, controlled, but trembling at the edges. "Let's clear something up, Mr. Ford. No one told me to go after you. I asked questions. That's it." "That's not what you were doing," Harrison replies. "Then enlighten me. What was I doing?" "Performing." The word slices deep. Joy stiffens. "Wow." Harrison shifts in his chair but doesn't soften. "You wanted a viral moment. You got one." "Oh, don't flatter yourself," Joy snaps. "You think I need you to go viral?" Harrison gives a tired shrug, the kind that isn't dismissive. It's exhausted. "This isn't about viral, it's about respect." Joy laughs again. Not sharp this time, but disbelieving. "I've been doing this show for 26 years. I know what respect looks like." Harrison tilts his head. "Do you?" The audience reacts like they've been slapped. Joy's expression shifts, a flash of wounded pride, quickly flooded by anger. "Yes," she fires back, "and you don't get to question it. I do when you disguise hostility as humor." Joy leans forward now, elbows on the table, voice low and cold. "You think I'm hostile? You haven't seen Hostile." Sunny swallows hard. Sarah glances off stage like she's begging someone to intervene, but no one dares step into the line of fire. Harrison's tone stays level. "I don't want hostility." "Then why did you come here ready for war?" He shakes his head. "I came here to talk about the movie, but you made it personal." Joy scoffs. "I made it honest." "No," he says softly. "You made it superficial." Another hit. Joy opens her mouth, then stops, because she knows, deep down, that Harrison isn't attacking her for entertainment. He's challenging her on something much heavier, her approach, her on-air persona, the part of her she rarely allows anyone to dissect. The air feels heavier now. Harrison eases back in his chair, his voice softening just slightly. "You're better than cheap shots, Joy. You're smarter than that." Joy blinks fast, too fast, and those who know her recognize the tell. She's rattled, unsettled, fighting a war inside herself she didn't expect to fight today. She forces a breath. "You think you understand me? I think you hide behind comedy," he says, "and when someone pushes back, you call it them being sensitive." Joy presses her lips together. "You don't know me." "No," he agrees, "but right now I'm seeing you." And that lands differently than everything before. Joy freezes. The audience sits in stunned, breathless silence. Joy's voice comes out barely above a whisper. "You don't get to psychoanalyze me," Harrison responds quietly. "Then stop trying to psychoanalyze me." Joy looks away, as if trying to regain her footing. Her jaw clenches. Her hands tremble slightly as she straightens a napkin beside her mug. Something to occupy her shaking fingers. The camera zooms in. Millions watch. Harrison continues, his voice the gentlest it's been yet. "You asked if I'm difficult. The truth is, maybe. Sometimes, I'm human. I get tired. I get frustrated. But you came into this interview with a story already written about me. Joy turns sharply back to him. And you never come into interviews with stories written about hosts? Harrison doesn't answer right away. Joy stares him down. Exactly. Harrison exhales, long and slow. Maybe you're right. The admission stuns everyone, including Joy. She wasn't expecting that. The crack in her armor widens, just a hair, enough for something real to spill in. Or out. But before she can respond, he continues. But you started with the personal stuff, the character attacks. Why? Joy stiffens. That wasn't an attack. It wasn't kindness. Joy stops, breathes, looks at him the way someone looks at a person who's forcing them to see something they've spent years avoiding. Finally, she says, I poke because that's my job. People expect me to challenge guests, to stir things up. And you're good at it, Harrison says sincerely. But sometimes stirring turns into provoking. Joy's eyes glisten for a fraction of a second. A flicker, fast as a heartbeat, almost invisible. But Harrison sees it, and it stops him. Something changes inside him, a shift. He leans back, his own sternness softening. Joy looks down at her hands. You think I enjoy being the one people blame every time something gets heated? Every time a guest storms out or snaps? You think I like being the punchline? Her voice breaks, just slightly, but enough. Harrison's shoulders ease. I don't think you like it. I think you use it. Joy looks up slowly, eyes sharp again. You really think you've got me figured out? No, he says. I think you're tired. The silence now is entirely different. Softer, empathetic, disarming. Joy blinks, visibly shaken by the shift. Well, you're wrong. Harrison studies her. Am I? Joy doesn't respond. She stares down at the table like it's suddenly made of glass she can see her reflection in, and doesn't like what she sees. Sonny breaks the silence with a fragile voice. Maybe we should just... Don't, Joy says, lifting a hand without looking at her. Let him talk. It's the first time Joy has ceded control voluntarily. Everyone feels it. Harrison nods with gratitude but doesn't smile. Look, Joy, I'm not mad at you. I'm not here to fight. But you opened with a punch, and I defended myself. Anyone would. Joy swallows. Hard. Okay, fair. And I shouldn't have escalated it the way I did. Joy looks up sharply, surprised. You're apologizing? I'm acknowledging, he clarifies gently. I don't think you owed me the tone you used, but I also didn't have to push back that hard. Joy stares at him like she's seeing him for the first time. The audience sits frozen, witnessing more than a clash, a dismantling of personas on both sides. Joy finally exhales. Maybe I did push too hard. Sonny and Sarah exchange shocked glances. Whoopi tries to hide her smile but fails. The director behind the glass almost faints. Joy continues, voice steadier but softer. You've been in this business for decades. You've dealt with much tougher people than me. I figured you'd shrug it off, make a joke, tell a story. Harrison raises an eyebrow. I'm not a dancing bear. Joy's lips twitch, the first real involuntary smile since the tension began. Clearly. He leans forward now, unclenching the fists he didn't realize he'd made earlier. So, can we start over? Joy hesitates, and then slowly she nods. Yes, we can. The audience cheers, relieved, emotional, connected to the moment in a way daytime TV rarely allows. But the moment is not over, not even close. Because after the applause fades, Joy speaks again. Softer, introspective, almost vulnerable. Can I be honest with you, Harrison? He nods. Please. She takes a deep breath. I didn't go after you today because I dislike you. I went after you because I was nervous. Harrison stares, stunned. Nervous? Of me? Yes, she admits. You're intimidating. He shakes his head. I'm not trying to be. I know, she says.